Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Monday morning, Monday fun day. And so, who's joining me today? Who's joining me today for our oil of joy? Um, this is such an amazing, amazing oil. So, who's joining me? And please go ahead and put where you're joining us from. It's always such a thrill to be able to see where you're from, see your name and where you're from. And even though I might know, everybody else might not know. And so it just feels so good to be able to connect us together. Oh, good morning, Amy. Good to see you, Amy. Good to see you, Dawn. Awesome to see you. And Dawn, eventually we're actually going to get to see each other in person. That's so fun. And good morning, Jane. Um, Good morning, Lori. Lovely to see you all joining here. And so, um, how are you doing with this Monday morning mindset thing? Recently we poured cement here at our house, and I was thinking of this Monday morning mindset when they were pouring the cement, and they were waiting until it got to a certain permeability or a certain firmness until they were going to stamp it. And then when they got to a certain hardness, then they stamped it, put this stamp, and they put these impressions in it that made it look really cool. And then once it hardened, once it's set, that's it. And there's no changing it. And wouldn't it be fantastic if we could get into that space of a mindset where we felt amazing? Like this morning, I was thinking, I feel so good today. It's just like, I feel so good. And wouldn't it be awesome if we could feel like that every day, all day long, and that we could have that set in our minds so that regardless of the circumstance, regardless of what happened, regardless of what's going on in the situations around us, we just felt good? I like that. And that if we can have that set in our mind, I don't know of anything that helps me to do that more than using the oils with my thinking and in my gratitudes, and so I can focus on what's good in a situation. And so the oil of joy, we're going to get to use that this morning. So I hope that you're using your oils and your gratitudes every single day, and I hope that you're starting to look forward to Monday morning because you get to have something special. So this is the oil of joy. Oh my goodness, joy is like it. This is an exotic oil blend. Um, if you go and read about the oil of joy, it'll tell you that it's an exotic blend, and it is. It just has this. When we wear joy, it produces this magnetic energy around us that enhances our frequency. It enhances, one thing it enhances, it enhances the frequency of our own self love, our own self acceptance, or just the enjoyment of being us, the enjoyment of being who we are. So let's take a drop of joy and just enjoy that fragrance. It is absolutely so beautiful. So when we inhale the oil of joy and breathe that in, there's no wrong way to smell an oil. There's ways that we can smell oils to create certain outcomes and certain results. But there's no wrong way to smell an oil. The only thing that's wrong is if you don't smell it. So joy, when we inhale this, it brings back the feeling. It helps to bring in the feelings of, when we were feeling loved, when we felt like we were accepted and appreciated, and it helps to remove and take away those blocks that keep us shut down. So I love seeing you on here. Thank you for giving me some feedback and some comments so that I know that you're with me. And thank you for giving you some hearts, and I love hearts. That's all what joy's all about, right? So good morning, Lynn Ann, from Shady Cove. Oh no, that's Lynn Christine from Shady Cove, Oregon. Good morning. And good morning, Liz from St. George, Ontario. So good to see you on here. Lynn Ann says, I love the oil of joy. It's the one that I wear usually every day, yes. And so a great place to wear joy is over your heart. This is a really good place to where the oil of joy is, right over your heart, and because it brings in that frequency. So when, you know, when Gary put so much work into the formulation of these oils, and so the oil of joy is the same frequency as the emotion of joy. And isn't that a feeling that we all want to bring into our energy field? And so putting it over your heart, it's also the frequency of the tissue of a healthy heart. And so I loved hearing Gary talk about these oils and all that he put into formulating them. So the oil of joy, when you wear that oil, it's going to help you in so many ways. And so some situations in life, you know, sometimes we feel anxious about something, and we're, you know, when we're feeling anxious, that's really a feeling of doubt or concern, or a lack of confidence that what we are desiring to happen is actually going to happen. So joy helps us to remove those feelings of anxiety and gives us more confidence towards the situation we're dealing with. And sometimes in life, have you ever felt disappointment? Maybe disappointed in yourself, maybe disappointed in somebody else, but just that feeling of disappointment that, you know, things maybe aren't going to turn out like you thought they would, or maybe they are turning out because you had doubts about it. And we have these concerns. Well, joy is going to help to reverse the disappointment. What's the other side of disappointment? It's just happiness and excitement, and we know that it's going to turn out the way we want. And so, disappointment is associated with the sadness, a feeling of grief. Let's use our joy to help us know that in every one of those situations that there's change happening, and change always brings about growth. And sometimes we don't like change. Well, when we know that it's going to expand us and make things better, then we can use joy to help us see the other side of the disappointment and know that it's going to turn out good. And sometimes, have you ever been felt incongruent or not aligned with something, or first you feel good about it and then you don't feel good about it, and there's just that uncertainty about it? Joy is going to help you to get really, really clear, and it helps us to see the bigger picture. Let's put it that way. It just helps us to see the bigger picture. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Catherine. Lovely to see you here. Good morning, Sandra. Joyful to be here. I'm joyful that you're here also. So the oil of joy, it's filled with the oils that help us to accept and love ourselves. And you know that critic inside us that's got that nittery thing that's telling us maybe we didn't do a good enough job, or maybe we're not good enough, or all those voices. Just use the oil of joy to help subdue that, and know that you are enough, you are good enough, you have enough. And in every way, joy is going to help you just feel good today. And so like I've said before, all of these things, like this feelings of grief or anxiety or disappointment or incongruency, uncertainty, all of those feelings, if we want to have them and we want to own them, we can. However, that's not the point. The oil is not going to create the feeling for you. What it's going to do, it's going to help you create the desire that you're wanting to have. So when we're sitting here feeling like disappointed, that's not a feeling we want to sit and revel in. If you want to have a pout party, set your timer and make sure that you're not allowing yourself more than 2 minutes a day, because that's not productive for anybody or anything. So what you need to do is, when you're using the oils, the desire that you would like to have, you don't want to feel unhappy, you don't want to feel disappointed, you don't want to feel the feeling of loss. What you want to feel is the opposite side of it. So use the oils to help you get there, because they help to transport our thoughts to a higher level, because they are a high frequency, and they're going to help us do that. Oh, I just love this oil. So again, take a drop in your hand, rub your hands together, smell it. I just want to bathe in this oil today. However, don't rub this oil all over your face and go out in the sunshine, because it does have the oil of bergamot in it, which it's really high in let's not go in. I was going to go into the chemistry of it, but it's really high in the molecules that actually attract the sunlight, because bergamot is a citrus. It comes from the rind, and so we don't want to have well, those molecules are in there to help ripen the fruit, and the essential oils comes from the rind of the fruit in the citrus, and it's to draw the sun to help ripen the fruit. So that means what? That means that the oil could be photosensitive because it'll attract the rays of the sun. So we don't put joy all over our face when we're going to go out in the sun, be exposed to the sunlight. So that's a little tip for you with joy. Joy is an oil that you would wear over the heart to enhance the feelings of self-love and self-acceptance. And then once you have that yourself, what can you do? You expand that out to others. So that's just a lovely little oil that we can use today to increase our feelings of self-worth and self-love. And I have a story that I would like to share with you. So this is a story that was shared actually on our coaching Proctor Gallagher page the other day, and it's such a beautiful story, and I thought it went so good with this oil, so I'm going to share that. It's a story about a hole in a boat. And so it says that a man was asked to paint a boat, and he brought his paint and brushes and began to paint the boat a bright red as the owner had asked him to do. While painting, he noticed a small hole in the hull of the boat and quietly repaired it. When he finished painting, he received his money and left. The next day, the owner of the boat came to the painter and presented him with a nice check, much higher than the payment for the painting. The painter was surprised and said, "You already paid me for the painting of the boat, sir." "Oh, but this is not for the paint job. It's for repairing the hole in the boat." "Oh," said the man, "but it was such a small service. Certainly it's not worth paying me such a big amount for something so insignificant." And the man said, "My dear friend, you do not understand. Let me tell you what happened. When I asked you to paint the boat, I forgot to mention the hole. When the boat dried, my kids took the boat and went on a fishing trip. They did not know that there was a hole in the boat, and I was not at home at that time to tell them. So when I returned and noticed that they had taken the boat, I was desperate because I remembered the boat had a hole in it. Imagine my relief and joy when I saw them returning from fishing. Then I examined the boat and found that you had repaired the hole. You see what you did? You saved the life of my children. I do not have enough money to pay for your small, insignificant good deed. So no matter when, who, or how, continue to help, sustain, wipe tears, listen attentively, and carefully repair all of the leaks that you find. You never know when one is in need or when God holds a pleasant surprise for us to be helpful and important to someone. Along the way, you may have repaired numerous holes in boats for several people without even knowing it. This is a little reminder to remember that the work we do matters, and that we can go out in our day with joy and spread joy all through our day and every activity and all those around us. So enjoy your joy today. Increase your self-love. Go ahead and do all those things that we do anyway, because we never know when we're saving somebody's life and making their life better. So thank you so much for being with me today. Enjoy your joy. See you later. Oh yes, and remember to come on Wednesday and find out about kindness. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.